Hi everyone, it's time for social studies. So the first step is always to click on the link which brought you here to the video. And then after watching the video, you'll do the assignment and post it on Class Dojo. And then you can come back to this site and explore some of the other things. All right, so we're on week 1. We did spiders, we did weather, we did sound. You guys did a really great job sending your sound activity. I saw Zion was able to get onto the portfolio section and he submitted his work. Autumn and Antonio both sent great pictures of their work. Keep up the great work, guys. And if you didn't get these activities done, not to worry, Friday is going to be our catch-up day, so you can do those things on that day. All right, today we're going to be learning about communities, and the book we're reading is called Living on Farms. This is a really great book, The Giggle Giggle Quack. When you are done your assignment, if you have extra time, I would come back on and listen to that story. And also, if you look down on the bottom, there's a video about home in 3 communities. So when you talk about communities, there's rural. Rural is an area that is mostly farmland and there's not that many houses. That's probably going to be the area for our book, Living on Farms, a rural area. Camden, New Jersey is an urban area. An urban area is a city. In a city, there tends to be more people, the houses are closer together, and there's just more traffic. And then the last one is suburban. Suburban is just houses. They're still kind of close together, but it's a little bit more quiet than a city. All right, so we're going to read the book, and then when we're finished, there's the activity that comes in English and Spanish. And stay tuned for the end of the video so I can show you how to do it right in the portfolio section. Then you don't have to worry about taking a picture of your work. But if taking a picture of your work is working for you, go ahead and do it, whatever works for you. Here we go. Living on farms. This is what many farms used to look like. A single family owned the farm and lived on it and worked on it. So look closely at the picture. Farms have lots of green grass. As soon as the farmer's children were old enough, they would help with the chores. They might milk the cows, feed the animals, plant the seeds, or pull the weeds. There was always work to be done. Many different vegetables and fruits would grow on a family farm. There would be livestock. So livestock is highlighted. This is what livestock is: cattle, pigs, and sheep. And poultry. Poultry is chickens, ducks, and turkeys. The family's food came from their own farm. So they were actually eating their own livestock. So basically they would be raising their cattle and then they would eat it. Some farms are still like that, but today we get most of our food from much larger farms. Many of these big farms grow just one type of food. Now look at that picture. I think it's beautiful. Look how much land there is. And if you look where the houses are, there's so much open space around them. There are wheat farms, corn farms, and potato farms. There are farms for every kind of fruit. The milk you drink comes from dairy farms. Their machines milk the cows. Herds of beef cattle graze on big ranches. We get eggs, chickens, ducks, and turkeys from poultry farms. There are even fish farms. So this is just telling you that there are different kinds of farms. So one farm might just be for wheat, okay, instead of for everything. Feed for farm animals is stored in tall, round buildings called silos. If you look next to the red barn, that really large, round building, that's a silo. And that's where the food is for the animals. It's pretty cool to see. When we were driving to Hershey Park, we had to go and drive through the farms. So we saw lots of silos and we saw lots of animals. It was really cool. But to imagine living on a farm is a much different life than how we live. Whoops, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get to the top here. A long time ago, more people lived on farms than in cities. Horses or oxen pulled the plows. People had to do almost all the other work by hand. So they're saying a very long time ago, more people lived on farms, but not now. Most people live in cities or suburbs. Now, fewer people have to live on farms because machines do so much of the work. And guys, remember we talked about the 6 simple machines? Tractors pull plows that break up the soil, and planters drop in the seeds. So now instead of people doing it, the tractors are doing it. Big combines harvest or pick wheat and other grain crops. Some farm jobs are still done by hand. A lot of farmers pick fruit by hand so it doesn't get damaged. Farmers depend greatly on the weather. Some crops, such as oranges and grapefruit, need warm weather. They grow best in warm places like Florida and Southern California. Other crops, such as apples, potatoes, pumpkins, and corn, grow well where it's cooler, right? So some of our local farms, I think of Duffields and Johnson's, they always have the pumpkins, and you can get apples and apple cider in the fall. All crops need water. Where there isn't enough rainfall, water must be brought in from rivers and lakes. It flows through the farm in pipes or ditches. This is called irrigation. Living on a farm means a lot of hard work, but eating the food you grow is a lot of fun, and it tastes great too. All right, so that's the end of the book. Now we're going to get to our activity. So we learned about a rural area, like a farm. Now let's look at our activity. All right, create your own community. If you could create your own community, what would it look like? Decide if your community is rural, urban, or suburban. Draw a picture of your community and name it. So when you name it, I want you to use the words either rural, urban, or suburban. You're going to pick, if it were up to you and you could live where you wanted, what would you pick? Okay, do you want to live way out in the farms where there's nobody and take care of the animals? Do you want to continue living in the city? You like it there. You like the people you're around. Or do you want to move to a suburb, which is, just like a city, but just smaller? All right, so I'm going to show you how to do the activity. Now, this is going to be your vision, what community you want to live in. So you might agree with my sample, but feel free and please do so. Think for yourself what kind of community you would want to live in. Even if it's not the same as mine, that's okay, right? All right, so I'm going to show you now. After you've watched the video, then you go into portfolio. Real simple. All right, so you go back into Class Dojo. Okay, now you log in student, or hopefully you saved it and you don't have to keep doing this. Like I saved it, there I am. All right, now I'm gonna go to portfolio and I'm going to look for the activity. Oh, here it is, Social Studies Drawing, Thursday, April 9th. All right, this might take you a little bit of time, okay? The spelling is on the side. Draw a community, rural, suburban, or urban. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and draw mine and what I think, what I want it to be. So I live in Collingswood and I am in the suburbs and I'm happy where I live. So I'm going to write suburban and I'm going to look over here for the spelling. Okay, so there's your title. Now you have to draw a picture. Well, what does it look like? So I'm just going to draw a sample of what my street looks like. Okay, so you have your street here. And then you have a house. Then a little bit of space, another house. A little bit of space and another house. Then on the other side of the street is yet another little house, another house, and another house. So that's what the suburbs look like. You just live in a house, you have a little bit of space from your neighbors, and you hope and pray to have really nice neighbors. And for us, it's worked out. I'm going to add that it's green grass. Okay. That's another characteristic. Oh, I was having so much fun coloring that it went away. Oh man, I'm not going to get upset. I'm just going to do it again because I didn't save my work. I don't know what happened to it. Suburban. It's not like we have anywhere to go, right? Whoops. Oh my goodness, I did it again. What is going on? Let me see. And look, none of this stuff automatically saves. So here's a lesson for you. This might happen to you. And when it does, don't get frustrated. Just keep going. I hope this time I'm going to be a little more careful when I draw. Maybe I'm hitting the computer too hard. Slow down. No need to rush. Right, so there's my suburb. If you're drawing a farm, you're not going to have a bunch of houses, right? You might, I can't believe it. It happened again. I am not doing well with this drawing feature. I'm not going to get upset. I think this time I'm going to go for an even more simple drawing. Okay, this is a real lesson, guys, on what it is to be patient, especially when you're working with technology. There's my road. Now, let's say that this continues to happen. You can text me and say, Mrs. Stevens, I tried this about 5 times and I'm done. Draw your picture and just send a photo. I'm not going to add the grass this time. All right, so here we go. Save. Now we know how important that is. It's saved. Hand it in. And then I get your work. And I'll say 100%, you did a great job. All right, boys and girls, next up is math. Just remember, watch the video and then just submit the assignment. At 1 o'clock is our live Zoom session. I know that yesterday many people were having trouble with the passcode. I'm not sure what happened because 4 students got on. So I just created a new meeting with a new passcode. So hopefully tomorrow it will work. And if not, we'll just work on it after spring break. All right, everybody. See you soon. Bye-bye.